What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, previews and vlogs. Alright, so since the last video I did of cleaning the 4runner, I've had something installed on the car, and this is going to be an update video on it pretty much. What I've had updated was pretty much I did the head unit. So remember, I had a CD player when I was cleaning the Snake CD cassette player, and I had the Alpine ILX W650 installed on this thing, which is actually pretty badass. It's pretty much an Apple CarPlay unit, no navigation on it, but it's got Android, Apple CarPlay, and everything else. Of course, since the unit's been installed, I can notice the speakers on this car are pretty much all shot. I think I get some kind of sound from this speaker. I know I get sound from that center speaker up there, and I get a sound from the tweeter up there, but other than that, almost all the speakers on this car are pretty much shot. So in another video, I will be installing new speakers on this car. But for now, this is going to be an update kind of to the cleaning of the interior of this car. And again, I'll post that link in the description right above here, or right below I should say. We're going to be cleaning the exterior of this car. Now, this car hasn't had a wash since I had it. And it's, I mean, the paint overall for being a 17-year-old car is pretty good. There's some scuffing there. Come around here, of course. I did buff out one of the headlights. I have to buff out the other headlight. You guys can see the difference there. That one's buffed, that one's not. And the thing here is basically as well that I am going to be replacing the headlights because this yellowish varnish or oxidation does come back. And again, this headlight did not buff out 100% like I wanted it to. But either way, I'm going to be replacing those and pulling LED lights and everything on there. So we'll see what I get when I replace those. But either way, back to the car. It's still all grimy and dirty. And the wheel wells, the rims, everything's all nasty. There's some couple of scuffs and stuff that got to be buffed out. You can see this all the way through, some scratches down here, little scuffs, nothing major. And then a couple scratches I really want to get out that bother me because I see them every day. And that's going to be, there's one right here. There is one right in this area here that comes down this way. And there's also some of the scratches I want to get out. Pretty much there is one that is right here. Kind of bothers me every time I see because I get on the driver's side. One right there. And then this one here. Now, the car has scuffs and scratches all around, but those are the ones that bother me the most that I'm going to be getting out of this. And then, of course, we'll be buffing out some of the stuff that can be buffed out. I'm not going to go crazy on it. I am going to do a clay bar on the car just to get this paint smooth. Wax it. I mean, it looks like it's about to rain. Supposedly no rain on the forecast for today until tonight, but either way, the car is filthy. Even though it is my winter car, I still want to make it look good. The wheels as well, and oh, since the last video you guys saw I was supposed to be doing brakes, which I will be. I already have all the parts for the brakes, so yep, I did of course power stop again, pads, rotors, and we will be replacing the calipers as well on this thing. So I got calipers all from Power Stop. Got them actually at Rock Auto for a really good price. So those will be getting installed. I'm not going to be doing those in my garage because there is some rust on the bolts and everything else, and I don't want to be fighting with that on the ground in my garage in here like I normally do. So that's going to be going into the shop where I work at, and they're going to be doing them there. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started with cleaning this car out, making the paint look a little bit better. I mean, you guys can see some of the dirt there. I'm not sure if you guys, the camera's catching that, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty dirty. Hasn't been washed. I've had it for 2 weeks, and in 2 weeks I have not washed it. So I want to get the paint looking kind of decent and clean. Alright, so here's what we're going to do first. First things first, we're going to go ahead and wash the car. We're going to give it a quick bath, get any type of dirt or loose dirt off the car. After we do that, I'm going to hit it with some sandpaper here to get the fine scratches that I pointed out removed off of there. Just kind of lighten them up. Then after we do that, we're going to use the iron clay spray to remove any iron contaminants from the paint. Now that's almost as well as good as doing a actual clay bar, but not as good. So after we do that, we're going to rinse the car off. We're going to wash it again. Then we're going to clay bar it, wash it again. Then after we wash it the last time, we're going to go ahead and use the scratch remover to get those fine scratches. Of course, the sandpaper or wet sanding that I did on there, get that kind of lightened back up. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and hit it with some Mother's Brazilian Carnauba car wax. And then that should be the final step of getting this car cleaned up. Now again, I'm not going to be doing this like I did with the Cadillac, where I basically, you know, had the whole car pretty much ceramic coated and looking all nice and glossy and like a piece of glass over here. This is just, again, just to get the car looking nice. I do like this 4Runner. I've always liked them, and now that I have one, I want to make it look decent, make it run for a while, and just keep it for a while, at least, you know, 2 years, 3 years, whatever's gonna last me. I mean, these things are supposed to last 250, 300,000 miles. So if I could get that out of this car with 171 right now on it, I'll be more than happy. It'll be worth spending some of the money to get that out of this car or out of this truck. And again, it is my winter car, but I also use it in the summer to get back and forth to work, so I don't put miles on the Caddy, which was the same as the Trailblazer I had. So with all that being said and shown, let's go ahead and get started on this thing. I don't want to spend all day on it, which I probably will spend a few hours on it, but again, I'm gonna make it look decent, just like I did with the interior. I'm not gonna go into full detail and paint correcting and ceramic coating and none of that. It's, to me, it's worth spending time on it, but not that kind of money or that kind of time on that car. So let's go ahead and get started on this, and I'll show you guys how my methods of cleaning up a car, just like I did with the last video. Oh, and one last thing, we are using the 2-bucket method to get most of the loose dirt off the car, so you guys know. So I will be using the 2-bucket, dirty bucket, clean bucket, or actually clean bucket, and that's gonna be the wheel bucket, pretty much wheels and lower part of the car. So just so you guys know, I'm not skipping that step either to get this car thing. And then we will be removing that caution vehicle protected by me. Even though I like it, it's kind of tacky. I don't like stickers like that in any of my car other than my own stickers from my video or from my channel. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this whole thing started. Let's go ahead, enough talk, and I'll keep pausing it, but let's go ahead and get this thing started. Alright, since I already applied some Google onto this, I'm gonna go ahead and apply some heat and try to peel it all back. Now this particular one here, for some reason it seems like there was 2 stickers, one on top of the other. So once I peel it back, you would want to use one of your plastic razors, but since I don't have one at this point, I'm gonna use one of my trim removal tools just to kind of scrape down. You don't want to use anything metal to scratch on that paint. Alright, so it's all taken off. There are some residues left here. Paint's pretty much smooth, but we are going to be buffing this whole area out. So I'll make sure this gets hit when I buff the car as well. So now that that's gone, while I was doing that, of course, I went up and filled up the buckets with water. Now I'm going to put some soap in them, get the power washer plugged in, and go ahead and start giving it the first wash. Alright, so for the wheels, I'm going to go ahead and use Chemical Guy Citrus Wheel Cleaner. Just kind of spray down the wheels. Of course, we are going to be using the iron remover on the wheels as well later on, but this is just to kind of loosen up all that dirt that's on there. Alright, for the front end, we're going to go ahead and hit it up with some bug and tar remover. Just kind of get on the edges here. And start off by just soaking the car up and pretty much just pre-washing it in a way, just rinsing out everything that's stuck on the car. Next step, we're gonna go ahead and use this method, the 2-bucket method. We're gonna clean the car up. This is before I use the foam cannon, because the foam cannon is actually one of the last steps before we dry the car. Alright, now that it's all wet, I'm going to go ahead and buff out those little scratches, the little marks that were on the car. We're going to go ahead and take that 2000 grit sandpaper, just kind of sand them down a little bit. Again, normally what you want to look at is if you spray water on a scratch and it disappears, that's a clear coat scratch. That's fine. If it doesn't disappear, then that's deeper than a clear coat. That's a lot more work, and you may even need touch-up paint for that. So if you look at these scratches here, I'm spraying them down real quick before I even spray the car down. A little bit of water, and they disappear. Those are ones you could just 2000 grit sandpaper, lighten them up, and then of course afterwards buff them. Alright, so now we've rinsed the car. We buffed out the scratches that were bothering me, which is right here, And there's one, I think, on this side over here as well. Yep, there was a big one right there. So I buffed that out. And now, of course, you know, the bigger scratches, like something like this, that's in the paint. That's actually scratched through the whole thing. But we buffed them out, rinsed the car, did a hand wash to get all the loose dirt off of it. And next, now we're gonna go ahead and spray. We're gonna actually have to rinse it one more time because it has to be rinsed. We're gonna spray down with the iron remover. We're gonna hit those wheels as well. These wheels have this yellow marking. I'm gonna see if that takes this off. It should take it off because this is like deposits or something like that, stains from pretty much the chemicals or actually from the rust from the rotors and stuff like that. So it should take those off. I also tried cleaning in here. Again, this truck was used for either what it was supposed to be meant for, which is pretty much off-roading kind of, but I'm not gonna be using it for that, and I wanna keep it looking nice for a long period of time. So let's rinse it one more time, and then we're gonna spray the iron remover. All right, so I sprayed the iron remover, and you can see it start working right away here. Look at this. See all this contaminants starting to come off of there. That's when you know it's working. You can even tell on the wheels here. Look at this. Look at it on the wheels. So it's got to sit on the vehicle for a good 2 to 3 minutes. And actually, I might go up around the car one more time, just with the fact that I kind of missed some spots here. But look at these wheels. Look at. I'm gonna go around the car one more time with it, just to make sure I get every little spot here. Like, got some spots that are kind of don't have anything on them. All right. So with just actually spraying that iron remover off of this thing and rinsing it off, the paint already feels a hell of a lot better. I mean, you can still feel little bumps and stuff, and that's just some dirt that's left over, and that's why we're gonna go ahead and clay bar this whole car right now. So pretty much I'm gonna do panel by panel. I'm gonna do, of course, the fenders, the hood first, and work my way back. Now, I'm not gonna, of course, show every single panel I'm gonna do because that'll be making like an hour and a half, 2 hour video. So I'm gonna start, and then I'm of course gonna skip over once I'm done clay bar. Alright, so check this out. Even after being washed and sprayed down with iron remover and washed again and rinsed off, look how much dirt's still in this paint that you can't really see. And this is the stuff that you don't want to, basically when you're polishing a car or even buffing a car, you don't want this on your paint because it will cause damage and more scratches on the paint. Again, I'm doing this just as a one-time thing on this truck, and mainly to show you guys my methods of actually cleaning a truck, giving a truck a good clean after it's been used by somebody that probably didn't take much care of the truck, from what we saw in the previous videos of how the interior looked. So this is a one-time thing because this takes a lot of work, a lot of time as well. So once I finish this, I'm gonna fast forward this video and I'm gonna see you guys after I'm done clay barring the entire car. All right, so I fully completed doing, of course, the clay barring of the entire truck now. That took a while, something I don't like doing, and I don't find the comfort in doing it, but I wanted to do it with this truck because of how dirty the paint was and everything else, and I just want to make it look good, like I said, and repeatedly in the video. So it's all clay barred. Now time to basically foam cannon the whole thing. I got the foam cannon already all set up over here with the Chemical Guys honeydew spray. I'm gonna go ahead, just wash the entire truck properly now, and then we'll dry it and buff it. So let's go ahead and get this washed. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and use the McGuire scratch remover just to get all the scratches that we made on this car with the sandpaper, everything we sanded down. After that's done, now we're going to go ahead and wax it and then buff it. Alright guys, so she's finally all done. Look at that. The nice shine came back. Everything is no more swirl marks, no more little fine line scratches. They're all gone pretty much. Again, the car is 13 years or 17 years old actually, so I wasn't gonna spend hours and hours trying to buff and paint correct the car, ceramic coat it, and go through this whole process. I just wanted to make it look somewhat decent from what it was before, which in my opinion I did. Again, this is my opinion. You guys let me know in the comments below, what do you think? Also, let me know any tips that you know that I might have used, that I should use next time I do something like this. But this car is going to see more automatic car washes than it will hand car washes. I can tell you guys that right now. This is not the caddy, or it's not the wife's car that is no longer here. She's gone to work. But that's what this guy's going to see. It is a winter beater, even though it doesn't look like one because the paint is so nice. Other than your little details here, little, you know, scratches and stuff. But other than that, I mean, the car is in great shape. After cleaning it up, it looks good. Even the wheels clean up a little bit better. They had a lot of nasty orange stuff on there from the rust and everything. Some of this didn't come off. I didn't expect much of it, but it looks a lot better. It looks a heck of a lot better than it did before. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Alright, so with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you got any tips from it, great. That's what I do these videos for. If not, oh well, always make sure you leave a comment below. Hit the like button, share the video, and if you're stopping by for the first time, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to. I'll see you guys on my next video. Peace.